Hello! Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I haven't made a vlog in a while, and I feel like it's for a good reason. There's been a lot of medical stuff going on, and I have some news that I want to share with everyone, which is why I'm kind of making this video. I guess let's start from like what's been going on and where I've been. Recently, I've just been doing whatever unemployed people do. Just hang out at home, play video games, and sleep. So that's kind of what I've been up to recently. Just doing nothing productive. But here's the news, I guess. Based on the title of this video, you may wonder, why did I use the word might? And I use the word might because my arm might come back. The word might is to kind of indicate that it's a possibility. Yes, 100% a possibility. But also, if it's not God's plan for my life, then my arm won't come back. And that's something I'm okay with. I've already made peace with that, made peace with God with that. There's no, I guess, inner hatred or inner resentment toward God if God decided to be like, you know what, Nick, your life does not, you're not supposed to have two arms in your life because of, whatever reason. Then okay. If that's how it's supposed to be, then okay. I'm okay with that. In October of 2025, me and my family went back to Taiwan. And the reason is to mainly see some doctors, to get a second and third opinion regarding the situation on my arm, medically speaking, what can we do here? And the reason why we went to Taiwan is because the doctors and professionals that we sought out in California actually suggested that, I might have to consider amputation.
No, God! No, God, please, no!
My family and I were like, no, we're not on board with that. We don't want to amputate. I personally don't want to amputate. I want to keep my arm. And the whole reason for keeping my arm is because, I think if God is going to heal my arm, then I got to keep it. And if I chop off my arm, that's kind of like me physically giving up hope on any kind of healing, if that makes any sense. So all these doctors were like, yo, we actually recommend and suggest amputation if your arm is going to be a bother to you, if it's going to ruin, I guess, the quality of life, you can consider amputation. And we're like, no. So we wanted to see what the doctors in Taiwan were able to do. The doctor in Taiwan was like, yeah, that professional, that specialist that you saw in California, his notes are actually pretty much what I would agree with. And it's weird because I guess they know each other, like they know of each other. So he kind of like, I guess, maybe has like I don't want to say a bias, but has an understanding of, yeah, this doctor knows what's going on and I follow his notes, and what his notes say, I'll agree with. So he was like, yeah, amputate. It's going to be a bother to you, and it's going to lower your quality of life, and it's just going to hang there forever, so might as well amputate. We're like, what? No way, dude. So the other doctor, here's what's crazy. The other doctor's like, yeah, actually, we can do a surgery on your arm. And the other doctors that you have seen or that they recommend amputation, they don't know what they're talking about, and they don't know how to do this specific surgery that I know how to do. And I actually mentor people on this, and I teach people all over the world how to do this. And he's like, yeah, we can do it. We're like, whoa, what the heck? That's like not the news that we've heard from everyone. So we asked them questions. We had some concerns at first because it's almost like a too good to be true kind of situation, which I feel like is very valid. So we asked some questions, and Doc said that there's a 50-50 chance of anything returning. So that could be very little, that could be a lot, but there's a 50-50 chance. And I'm like, okay, 50-50 makes sense. But then I just had a sudden question kind of overcome me, and it was like out of the blue. I was not prepared to ask this question at all, but all of a sudden I was like, what if nothing goes well and the surgery is not successful, but you reconnect my nerves and everything, nothing comes back? Will my nerve pain go away? And he's like, oh yeah, I'll guarantee your nerve pain will go away. for me, instantly right there, I knew that, yes, we have to do the surgery. Alright, sorry, as I'm editing this, I felt like I should explain this moment and explain why nerve pain was so key for me. It's because in my case, the nerve pain comes from a disconnect between the spine and the nerves, I guess. So there's an explanation right here on the screen, but yeah, basically I feel this pain because there's a disconnect between the spinal cord, which leads to my brain, and my limb, my arm, my hand. And the reason why surgery will help with the nerve pain and my pain will be gone is because they're creating a new pathway. They're going to connect different nerves in my body, like the spinal accessory nerve, or there's like 3 nerves above the ribs, the first 3 ribs or something like that. They're going to use these different nerves to connect to the nerves that are disconnected and reconnect and create a new pathway for my brain to send signals to my arm and my hand. So anyway, back to the video. And it's insane because I feel like that was God's okay for me to be like, yeah, do the surgery. And for me also, it's like a win-win. Okay, let's say nothing happens, right? And no nerve, none of the nerve function comes back, none of my arm function comes back, but my nerve pain goes away. That instantly increases the quality of life. I've already gotten used to living with one arm. I've already gotten used to doing everything that I need to do with one arm. But the nerve pain is what is bothering me the most. That is what I struggle with on a day-to-day basis. I take pain medication still, and I don't want to be on meds for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? Who wants to be on meds the rest of their life? It's so bad for you. So he was like, yeah, your nerve pain will go away. I'm like, wow, amazing. That is perfect. I got to do this. We have to do the surgery. Of course, my whole family is, a little bit concerned. They have their concerns. But in my mind, it's like, it's already a win-win. We got to do it. Here's what's also crazy. It's like, Doc said that even though it's 50-50, you're going to have to work really, really hard in therapy, like physical therapy, if you want to see improvement. And I'm like, okay, I totally understand that. And I didn't think too much of it, but like over time, even now, I instantly thought of something, and God spoke to me. I really, really feel like God spoke to me. He said a long time ago, at the very beginning of my accident, okay, Jesus came to my cousin in Taiwan, and my cousin, he has kind of like this gift of seeing the supernatural, but he knows he saw Jesus because of this incredibly bright light behind him, and he was wearing a white robe. And Jesus said to my cousin, he said, I will heal Nick, but it's up to Nick. Again, I will heal Nick, but it's up to Nick. He told us, and we were like, what does that even mean? God, like, what does that mean? Like, you'll heal me, but it's up to me. Like, what does that mean? And I was showering one night, and I was just praying for my surgery and kind of just talking to God, not even expecting anything. I was just like, God, just kind of surrendering the surgery into his hands. And all of a sudden, I was overwhelmed with all the puzzle pieces coming together. For example, what does it mean when Jesus said to my cousin, I will heal Nick, but it's up to Nick? And then the doctor saying, you're going to have to work really, really hard in physical therapy if you want to see any improvement. The puzzle pieces came together. Jesus said, I will heal you. Because yes, the doc can restore my nerves. He can reconnect my nerves. But it's not going to be instant. It's going to be like, yo, you're going to have to put in the work if you want to see my healing, God's healing, come to fruition. Okay? God is basically saying, Nick, if you really want to see my healing be materialized in this surgery and with time, you're going to have to put in the work as well. Because how bad do you want it? And the reason why putting in the work is important is because God knows me. God knows my character. He knows that I have lazy tendencies. He knows that usually I take things for granted. So he's saying, I can heal you. How bad do you want my healing? Okay, now this is just for my experience. This isn't for everyone. In the Bible, there's so many instances of Jesus healing right away. But there's also a couple instances where Jesus didn't heal right away. And sorry, I'm going off on a tangent, but it's all of like my thoughts coming together and how it all pieces together. So I'm just trying to like explain it to you, I guess. I was doing a devotional with my English ministry group. There was one story of Jesus healing a blind man. But Jesus didn't heal this blind man instantly. It required the man to let Jesus touch him a second time. So the first time Jesus touched his eyes with spit, and he asked him, "What do you see?" And the man said, "I see men walking, but they just look like trees moving." So this man was completely blind but couldn't see clearly, but he saw stuff. He kind of saw stuff. And he let Jesus touch him one more time, and his his eyesight was completely restored. But when I was reading that, I completely felt that I was in that moment too. That I needed to let Jesus touch me a second time. Why a second time? Because I really feel like Jesus touched me the first time. The first time is, one, I'm alive. Number two, I have some feeling in the upper arm right here in the back. I have some feeling. And there's instances where I feel like I touch a certain point in my hand, I can locate that point. Now, it may not be like full touch and full like sensation, but I can locate where it is. So in this way, it's kind of like that man only seeing the trees walking. They look like trees, right? It's not fully restored. But in my heart, I need to let Jesus touch me one more time. In faith, I need to let him touch me one more time. And all of this comes to the surgery. I need to go into this surgery in full faith that God can heal me, that God can restore my sensation, my mobility in my arm. And that's what I'm trying to do. That's what I pray for. That's what I try to do in terms of surrendering the surgery into God's hands. Faith is what's important here, and I'm learning to have this faith. But all in all, this is kind of what's been going on since October. And you may be asking, if God can heal you, why didn't he heal you from the get-go? I believe, yes, God could have healed me from the get-go. And it still could have been a crazy testimony, but God had to shape me as a person, as a character, as his son in this whole process, in this whole almost 2 years. He was shaping me. If he healed me from the beginning, yes, I'd be healed. I would have been healed. But I would have probably still been the same person I was 2 years ago, right? But in this whole journey, God has been shaping me. And like I myself, maybe I can't really tell, but I know I've changed. I've matured. I've grown in faith, and my family can testify to that. When God is trying to build a person, create a person, strengthen a person, it's not instant. There needs to be a journey, and there needs to be a path of difficulty that leads to goodness and greatness and holiness and godliness. And I still strive every single day to live like Christ, and it's not easy. God never said it's gonna be easy, but we have to try. I have to try to continue to try. But yeah, sorry for the huge rant, but this is what's going on, and this is why I think my arm might come back. Of course, it's a serious thing, but in my heart, I'm like, I can't wait. I'm so excited for it. I know it's going to be a rough journey. I know physical therapy is going to be tough. I know the healing and the wounds is going to be tough. But I believe it. But again, it's in God's hands. If the healing and this story and my arm coming back is a part of God's plan for my life, praise the Lord. If it isn't, I will still praise the Lord. I'm alive today and I can't complain. I would not trade, I guess, my situation for anything. You know, I used to be kind of suicidal and thinking, you know, I have it really, really hard, but people have it worse than me, dude. I'm grateful for my life. I'm grateful to be here. The fact that I can come and drive my car and literally talk to you guys and update you guys on what's been going on in my life and just talk freely. I'm blessed. I'm truly, truly blessed, and I owe it all to God. And I don't think it's a coincidence that I'm wearing this hat, God heals, because He literally does. Guys, I'm ecstatic. You may not see it in my face, but believe me, I'm ecstatic. I'm a little bit anxious. I feel like that's valid too. I'm a little bit anxious, but I'm very excited for this surgery, very excited for what's next to come, very excited for the journey that God has prepared for me, the journey that I will be embracing in the next, maybe, who knows, maybe a couple of years, maybe the next few months. Regardless, guys, I want to share this story with you because you've been here since the beginning. Some of you have joined me when I first had my injury, and I thank you for all your support. Thank you for being here. But yeah, I think it's fair to share with you guys what's been going on. So please pray for me, pray with me, be happy for me, be excited for me, and yeah. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one, all right? Peace out.